On the bright side, my game's not lagging at all. On my side, I can see the game clearly.
I just went live, and it says I'm streaming.
All right, go ahead and post it in the thingamajigamadohicker.
Okay.
And then I'll go ahead and tab out and stop the stream.
Okay.
Alright, so it looks like we're getting both junglers starting bot side, and the stream's off.
All right. Did you post it a bunch of times?
But yes.
Okay. I didn't know if that's what I was hearing or not. Whew.
So are you live? Alrighty.
I got my
Standard.
1 sub, and now I'm
Yeah,
switching
you
off.
got your sub, and now you're done.
Standard bot side start from both junglers.
How do I make this? Is there a way to keep the scoreboard permanently up?
Yes. I believe it's O.
Okay, there we go.
I just press O to take it down whenever there's a team fight to see more.
Yeah. What's the button that goes into team fight mode? I forget. I just talked to a friend about it.
Yeah, so already trading aggressively on the Kassadin.
I don't know.
It looks
You
like
can also
the,
press U to hide the timer, by the way.
it looks like the Lilia is actually like decently ahead of the Hecarim on the speed of her clear. She's already moving up into that top side with the Hecarim lagging behind. So
Clear speed's pretty nasty.
yeah. I think this will mean that she'll probably have first scuttle prio, especially with Yasuo shoving in. So it'll be interesting to see if there's going to be a fight.
Saved by Grace getting good trades. This top lane is going to be really tough for Keegan, I feel.
Sivir just taking a lot of harassment from this Ashe lane already.
While we're just kind of farming, how do you think this game's gonna go, kind of lane by lane?
Top lane should go in favor of Logan, maybe 1 or 2 kills before 14 minutes, and then like a 30 CS gap at
So Logan
15
just
minutes.
pretty much wins top pretty hard.
Yeah, or more. I could see him being up by 30 even at 10. At the rate he's already up 11, so.
So Lilia does get that first
yeah.
scuttle crab fairly easily.
In terms of mid lane, I don't think anything's going to happen mid. I feel like it's going to be a dud lane. Yasuo might have like 5 to 10 CS lead, but I don't think any deaths are going to happen without jungle assist.
Yeah.
And then bot lane, with how Ryan's currently playing, I think he's really easily exposed to a Hecarim gank.
Hecarim is
And if he does this all game, he's going to
right
get
now.
killed.
Yeah, he's stopping to clear that scuttle crab. I want to see him look for a gank here for sure.
I think he's just farming for 6. I don't think he's
One
going
thing
for
to
it.
note is
There's
that
not a single
in
ward
the top
bot.
lane, the Malphite is completely out of.
Oh, Yasuo is going in.
That was
Getting a
that
lot
was
of
very good
damage.
trade. He's gonna tank this entire
He
minion.
does have
though.
to be careful because Hecarim is in the area though.
Oh, the Hecarim is bot.
And then they just slow.
Okay.
Oh,
Almost
does
the
he
kill.
get this? No.
Does he hit it?
Oh my god, the flash
Oh,
Q
he
gets it.
gets it.
Does he trade?
And he is
No, he's
styling.
out for
No
free.
trade either.
I was wrong. There's
That
the
is
solo
very
kill in mid
good
lane.
on the side of red team here.
Luckily for the Kassadin, although
Wait.
it sucks that he gave over
Wait,
the first
wait,
blood, he does have the teleport.
Wait. Yumi's items.
What did
Oh,
you
you
get?
bought Relic Shield.
Oh. Interesting.
I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, Yumi has a lot of mana problems, and that Spell Thieves would have definitely helped with this mana issue. I mean, we can already see that Yumi's low, and really she's just wanting to be a heal bot this
And
lane.
also on top of that, like now she has to think about getting off of the ADC.
Yeah.
Logan's already up 3 waves.
Keegan
Yeah.
has no mana either.
Yeah,
The
he's
thing
gonna
with
have to start
Malphite,
juggling
though,
those biscuits.
He is a champion that doesn't need farm. He just presses
Right.
R. So as long
That's
as he
easier
doesn't
for
die too much, it should be fine.
And I think that that's his game plan. I mean, we already see him giving up this much CS, so I think that I don't think he's going to overextend too much this lane.
Already level 6 in the top lane.
The other lanes are fairly even other than that Yasuo early kill. But for the most part, CS is equal in the other lanes. First Drake is the Ocean Drake. That one does a lot of damage early, so it'll be a little bit hard to take. I feel like they're almost going to have to completely win a team fight. The Ocean is one of the hardest Drakes to sneak.
This blue team bot lane is getting shut out more than I would have expected.
What is your stream, by the way?
Like, what's
Your stream name?
UMKC.
Okay. I'm pulling it up on my work computer now so that I can read chat. There we go.
Sivir takes another disadvantageous trade.
Ooh!
The
Some good
exhaust
damage.
and,
And then the
coming
Hecarim?
down, Hecarim cleaning it up.
And this is what I was talking about with the overextending in the bot lane.
Yeah.
Lilia's rotating down, but it'll be way too slow. Oh!
They do get the Ash Flash. They might actually be trolling here.
Yeah.
Takes
Sivir had the
another
flash.
tower shot, and then
This
there
should
goes
be a
the
triple
Lilia. He waits out the spell shield, and that's just a triple, easy triple over to the Lilia.
Oh, maybe not.
Oh,
Oh,
Sleep
this is
comes
awkward.
down. And the Yumi, that
She
is
got the triple and she's out
unfortunate.
clean.
The early Lucidity boots coming out of the Lilia, I really like that build adaptation. I think that it's really smart. Lucidity
would've
boots are just
preferred
so
Swifties.
strong right now.
I would have preferred Swifties.
Really?
Yeah.
Um,
Going faster is generally better. If you're getting more than 1 or 2 CDR items and you don't care too much about your summoner spell CD, it's just better to go Swifties.
Do you
Because
think
keep
that
in mind, it doesn't give as much CDR as they used to give after a few items.
Okay. Do you think that the Lilia is going to go for the more supportive style build that we've been seeing recently, or do you think that she's going to go full damage after
I
getting
think
those 3
Lilia should
kills?
just go full damage.
I think so as well. I'll be interested to see what she does, especially since the only AP threat is the Malphite other than her.
I could see Moonstaff still.
I can.
Because you're Seraphine, you got a
I can
Malphite,
see
and
it,
the items
but
are
I
good.
think-
It's also cheaper.
I agree, but I think that especially now that he has a lead, like he has the extra gold, he can go the damage build.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see what he chooses to do. It looks like the Malphite's still just bleeding massive amounts of CS. That is such a large gap, and Logan is doing very well up there.
Also, with the stealing or getting those kills, it allows you to accelerate into your cheap build a lot
That's
quicker.
fair.
Like she could have backed and been almost already done with Moonstone, but if you see, she did go Lost Chapter, so she is going for the more damage oriented one instead of the supportive Moonstaff.
Yeah. He also, with these boots, just means he's pretty much able to perma-shove in this Kassadin. That early kill definitely helped out his lane be even more impressive.
Look at the CS gap top lane right
Yes.
now. That's brutal.
We were kind of talking about how like Malphite's goal is just to not die, but also like loot or just giving that much. Holy, okay.
Oh, and a really quick kill coming out through bot lane. They said we are not afraid to overextend again, and they just full send onto that. Sivir baiting out the spell shield and then landing the ultimate. It just means instant
Well,
death.
this game has definitely shown a much stronger side of Sir Mix-a-Lot.
You do have to wonder what that Sivir was saving the cleanse for, because I feel like if she would have cleansed any piece of the CC chain that just happened down there, that she might have lived.
She was saving it for the R in particular,
Ah, okay.
and the R is what killed her.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'd expect Hecarim and Kassadin to be looking to go bot here. I mean, they overextend constantly.
Yeah,
Well,
for
I guess
sure.
not overextend because there's no punish on it, but
Yeah, this is definitely an abusable lane.
they need to verify that they actually don't have proper vision and then try to do something about this, because this is just problematic.
Yeah, and right now they've established some pretty good vision down there, so they're able to push up until they clear
Yasuo's
up.
going in?
I think it's just, yeah, it goes right back out. Oh, we have the Hecarim gank mid lane. Let's see. The R. Oh,
And the R comes
doesn't
down, and
quite.
he misses the E timing. The Yasuo flash, but he still might be dead here, and he is, because he's back in.
And he does use both sums and get nothing in return.
Bot lane
Ooh.
trading aggressively.
Yumi's jump attached to Sivir got interrupted there, by the way. So she was unable to mount for a bit. Ashar is almost back up off cooldown, and then they can just look to kill again.
We do have the Sivir Cleanse though, because she didn't use it the last fight, so hopefully she's able to get some value out of that summoner this time around.
Seraphine doing a good job just
Zoning him off the
creating a... Yep. If Ryan didn't shove it in here, they would actually win.
Oh, and we see a dive coming down, and I think he just gets it outright.
Yeah, so that's a 63 CS lead and a death.
But also,
and that's
the bot CS lead is just growing and growing too. So I do think that they're doing a great job of, you know, trying to stabilize it on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, the map's definitely split here. It'll be interesting. We did identify as really the only problematic side of Blue Team's draft is that Illaoi split push, because they don't have anybody at all that can answer her, so it's kind of dangerous her getting this big of a lead this early.
Right, and she is really that one person where you did not want her to be big, because it just makes it so impossible to match the split push.
Oh, this might be a pick on the Hecarim. The Yasuo is coming down, and
Cass can turn this?
and
Cass
they
gets
do.
kill?
Does
Does he also get the shutdown here?
And the
Ash
the
arrow
arrow.
goes wide. The Lily has to burn her flash and ulti. They committed a lot there. That was so unfortunate. The Yasuo just didn't have a knock up that fight.
and then just got
Couldn't get his ulti off.
Arrow being down, though, will relieve a lot of pressure off of this Ashe.
That is very true.
Or off the Sivir.
Yeah. And the Illaoi, meanwhile, got that tower topside after that kill, so I almost would have actually liked to seen him just back, because the Malphite's kind of forced to come into you, but I think he just has so much pressure up there that it won't really matter.
Red has a lot of good vision around this Drake. I'd be interested to see if they try to play for this Drake win con here.
Although I will say they have two big ultis down right now. The Malphite ulti isn't up, and neither is the Lily ulti. And same with the Ashe, so it's a little bit risky.
I do think that they have the map pressure to at least control it and wait for the R's. Well, if Lilia backs.
Yeah, well, and they don't need their R's as much. Like, they got the Seraphine R, right?
Yeah.
Malphite R will be up in time if they were to do it. Lilia backs, yeah, so there's no dragon attempt here.
I'd like to see the
Yasuo
Hecarim
is
move in.
overextended.
And, yeah, he was on a ward though.
You can't win while those. Oh, jeez.
And he's missing Qs. That's rough.
And now this dragon suddenly looks like it's untakeable for red team. It looks like
and
blue
Nick
will.
went Everfrost. I haven't seen that on Kassadin. Is that a newer build?
I have no idea. I haven't seen
I
that.
think Everfrost has actually been one of Kassadin's main items, because you can you can blink forward into the root.
So they're
Yeah.
fighting
And
this
Red Team's
dragon,
getting
so it looks like they're gonna
completely
try to
wiped out,
kill.
especially with this
Yeah.
Illaoi down. We see this.
The
Dal
Yumi
secures the
ulti.
smite.
And the fight is really
I
split.
think that Red Team should have just backed out after they lost. Or after
Yeah.
Because now we had to pull bot lane splashes whenever they could have just walked out if they didn't continue fighting.
Yeah.
And
Little
now
overzealous
it's
from-
suddenly 4-1.
Yeah. This Kassadin that was struggling really hard against the Yasuo and got first blooded, just instantly bouncing back from those fights. He is massively ahead right now.
All in what looked like a super dominant game by Red Side so far instantly switches at the point to a 9.
Yeah.
The thing to mention, though, is they still got that dragon, right?
True.
And red team really needs to get every dragon here, because if they do let this game scale with a fed Kassadin and he hits level 16, this game's really tough. So, like, getting these dragons is going to be really huge for them. If they can get Soul and just, you know, at least 50-50 the 4th Drake, then suddenly their odds of winning this game look not as bad as they currently look.
Yeah, that is very true. What button is it to see the gold difference? If we could go ahead and do that for the chat to
can
see
press
the
X to see
individual gold
gold.
values. X, yeah.
So right now it looks like top is nearing a double gold here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my
Yeah.
mouse is
Oh,
still
that is a
clicking.
good E from the Illaoi.
Oh, and
And the
Seraphim's
Hecarim
just
collapses
down
on her. Seraphine is caught out. She blew her flash in the last fight. You hate to see that.
Also, it is Earth Dragon, so.
Which
Not too
honestly, it's not too huge, but it's not too bad either. Whenever you have a comp like a Malphite and a Yasuo that just want to like one-shot you, that extra shield on these champions might be the difference between living or dying here. I do find it interesting that they brought the Alawi mid lane. You almost think that they would want her in a side lane instead to create more pressure and potentially look for like a 2v1 play
The
that
idea
Alawi is
behind
famous
that
for.
is that Kassadin can split push also,
Mhm.
and Alawi doesn't have to fight, right? Like they're still not looking to do these team fights per se, and all this is going to do is it allows Kassadin to get like the safer gold and XP and just power level, right? Because all he has to do is hit level 16, and this game's pretty much unlocked.
Yeah. I do want to see this Ashe looking for plays. We haven't seen an Ashe ulti in a while because they haven't been in a good position for it after that Seraphine pick, but I feel like that's their avenue back into this game. They need to look to get some aggressive picks with this Ashe ulti.
They can also time it with the Daup sleep.
The Lilia
if he
sleep,
sleeps,
yeah.
I mean, you can't dodge the R.
Yeah, that is like a solid like 6 seconds of just straight CC and not being able to play the game, so I hope that they're able to
And then you can have Malp follow, you can have Seraphine follow. You can utilize that combo pretty easily, too. It's not hard to get the sleep off.
Seraphine needs to be very careful.
The Yumi ulti, and they looked a little bit uncoordinated there.
That doesn't...
That was an interesting
This just wasn't
Seraphine.
necessary, but
Yeah.
Alawi
what
is
happens
forcing,
here because
or
the
Alawi's
Alawi is
forcing.
already ulted. Yeah, so Alawi's just dead.
And
Is it the
she's
Yumi dead?
caught. She's
Yes.
way too far, and the Yumi
And
follows.
That is a very
Yasuo
good pick
flashing
by-
on the Hecarim. Hecarim has to ult
That is a
out.
very good pick by the Red
And that is a
team.
free 2 kills.
And let's see if they transition this into a Rift Herald. I mean, plates have already dropped, so it's not that valuable, but it is still an objective.
Right, well, and you can also grab it here and then hold it for the dragon to create extra
Yeah.
pressure to help you get that 3rd dragon.
And it
Because
can
really,
definitely be
these
used to
dragons will
break
be
mid
huge
tower.
for the red team.
Yeah.
Even though the mountain doesn't give too much in terms of value for red team here.
Is this a kill
Oh,
on
and
the
this
Ashe?
might be a pick on the Ashe, and I think it is.
Kassadin
The
flash.
Kassadin flash. Into
Okay,
an
does
R. The
Yasuo
Hecarim
kill
dies
you?
as a trade.
Also getting the shutdown here.
Yasuo had no R. Okay.
Yep, it's coming up in 2.
And Kassadin is out.
I don't know.
Whoa.
If I'm doing that.
Yeah, that is
Didn't
very
get the sleep.
impressive.
Walk
And
back
that Sivir
into the
damage.
side,
And that is the Manamune build coming out of Sivir. I wonder if she's going to follow that up with that Dusk
I would
Blade
expect that.
that you were talking about. That's going to be a lot of damage coming at this
They're
Ashe,
really focused on
Yasuo,
just
and
the safe
Lilia.
Q spam.
Mhm.
Which makes me think about the overall like damage output.
Yeah. And the Alawi ulti's committed to chunk the Seraphine before the Dragon, but I almost feel like that's maybe not
Little
worth it
idea.
here. I think the Seraphine's going to be able to get back.
my gosh.
Oh, and the Seraphine just outright dies. I think that means that blue team should have this Dragon here. barring
And this
some
just makes it
horrible
really hard
misplay.
for red team to get back
Yeah.
into the game.
And the Yasuo is getting chunked here. Hopefully he doesn't make the same mistake as the Seraphine and die to these tentacles.
They need to look to get some sort of counterplay for them getting this dragon. Like Ashe can just R someone and then have Malphite follow it, but it looks like their team's just giving it and not getting anything
Yeah.
in return.
I would have liked to see them at least, if they weren't going to look for anything, instantly go and start clearing the jungle, because now the Lily is at risk of a pick here because she wasn't clearing her jungle while they were on the drag. Yeah, and she's just going to get picked here. Oh, but the Ashe ulti might be coming, and it goes wide. The Lily a flash, but it doesn't matter. Hecarim just follows it up with the R.
Has Jeanette been challenged on Hecarim
I
yet?
don't think so.
Like, has it been banned yet?
I think whenever they played Alex's team, Alex banned the Hecarim game, and they ended up winning that game after that Hecarim ban.
What does he play?
I do not know. I think that he plays Udyr, and then Hecarim. I think we banned the Udyr because that was whenever Udyr was extremely broken before the before the at least slight nerfs came through. So I know that he plays those two, but after that, I'm not sure what his pull is.
I just turned on objective timers.
I don't know the key for
I
it.
just did.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty, and the
They
gold.
really need to start looking right now.
Yeah,
This
they
is
really
level
need to
12.
get
They
some
have 4
picks.
levels, and I mean, they need to be ready to get this dragon.
I think
coming
that
up
they're
in
waiting
4
this
minutes.
game out thinking that they have a team fight comp, but they're not realizing the power of the Alawi split and the Kassadin scaling.
Yep, they can honestly 1-3-1-2, right? Because, you know, Hecarim, Yuumi, Sivir, all of them are able to just dip out really
Right,
easily
yeah.
and prevent a fight from happening. Hecarim can even roam between what's going on and assist on whatever's needed.
Yeah, we did identify that really this Alawi getting ahead can just almost be a nail in the coffin early on because it enables the scaling to come out from the mid bot side because it's leaving so much pressure on the map, and that's exactly what
And
happened in
Alawi
this game
is
so far.
over 100 minions up on Kagan.
Yeah, the gold difference is massive. He's more than double the Malphite's. Oh yeah, well he's almost double the Malphite's gold. That's an insane amount.
Yeah, I mean, you see that he finished, full boots, full item, full mythic.
I would like to see this Malphite back here. He's sitting on 3,000 gold, and he really just needs a reset. There's never a reason ever why you should be sitting on 3,000 gold.
Are they? Whoa. Okay. Ash is looking to 1v2 this, maybe? No.
I agree with you here. The Malphite,
Here's the Alawi split
Malphite
push
isn't really
pressure.
doing anything. Like, he could have just been back already.
He should have reset to match the Alawi. Now he's just gonna walk down there. He has so much gold in his inventory. This is so risky. Are they just gonna? Yeah, they just straight up siege the mid tower, and there's not really a response. They have to be careful though. They might be getting collapsed on here. All right, looks like they're out in time.
So they traded mid tier 1 for bot tier 2.
I'd say that's worthwhile. I mean, the mid tower is super important.
Ooh, this is not. You can't contest.
Yeah.
See, this is why you don't really want to run it into Alawi, is because she wants you to
Yeah.
run into
Let's
her.
see. Do they even have the damage?
And
No,
the
not
cavalry
at all.
has a
And they're
round.
just-
Oh my
Oh,
God.
the
Gore
Alawi
Drinker.
killing. That was so massive. The Gore Drinker Steric shield
Yeah.
there just makes
This
her
game is
unkillable.
Is just
Yeah,
over for Red. I
it's
feel.
looking-
After that
extremely
play, yeah, I
doomed.
agree with you.
Their chance back into the game was really just these Ash picks, but they haven't really been able to
And that Ash
successfully
just
find
gets shredded by the
anything.
heck rim.
All right. Do they take the inhib here? I think they do.
I think they're fine
Yeah,
with
they
it
do.
because it creates enough pressure.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
Baron's on the map.
Yeah,
if Baron
'cause
was
of
off
Baron.
the map, they don't
Yeah,
have
then,
to take
then
it.
it's
but-
then it's a little bit risky, but and the Yasuo might get collapsed on here. I'm interested to see if the Hecarim runs. Yeah, he's pinging on the way, so the Hecarim is coming. Let's see if
Oh, they're running into Alawi again.
You
I
have to
literally
learn
don't
your
think they can do
lessons
anything.
here.
and the Alawi is just being a nuisance with that Yuumi on her. It makes her even more unkillable. The Yuumi is low on mana though, so not many hills can come out. I'd like to see them reset and start to get pressure around this Drake. They have a lot of gold in their inventory. They don't need to be overstaying here. They're putting themselves in a risky spot because Red Team can just take control over Drake area again. Is the Alawi
Ashar is
caught
almost
here?
up.
I think that she might be
They're definitely
overextended.
looking for
Ashar is up.
pressure.
The Alawi ulti is up though.
They need to
so-
go now if they're gonna
And-
do it.
and now it's
Yeah,
too
this is
late.
too slow.
Yeah, the Yasuo is chunked. They really should have
Yeah.
either pulled the trigger on that really fast or
I
not done
think
it
Red
at
Team's
all.
timer is up. They bled out too much early game, and for kind of these
Yep.
mid-game fights, and they don't win the scaling battle. I kind of agree with you. Oh, they're ulting
Yeah.
the heck
And also-
here. Let's see what happens with the Ashar. Oh, they hit that. They
Oh,
hit that. There's no follow-up at all.
Malphite didn't R here.
The
though.
Seraphine ulti goes wide.
Yumi is currently CC, so Yumi can't hop on anybody, but it doesn't matter.
Malphite just held R the whole time. I think
Oh,
they
the
actually
Alawi
could've
in the
won.
back line. That is such a good flash ulti. But they all just back off.
Yeah,
Seraphine
Alawi's so
does go
big she
down.
can actually just run in. Ooh, now he goes in. It's just a little late.
They do get the kill on the Alawi.
Jeanette also goes down.
Yeah, that is actually a really big play, but you would have liked to see them do that a little bit earlier. I don't know why they're almost hesitating.
Oh man.
Oh, that is a really big shutdown
Oh,
onto
this
the
is actually
Ash.
huge,
Huge for Red
Ash.
Team.
Yeah, this is
They
amazing.
actually get to pick up the
And then they
dragon,
get the
too.
dragon as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
that puts them on
So
soul
now
point.
yep, 6 minutes and then they can go for Soul here.
I would've-
Soul isn't
I-
enough now, I feel.
I
Because they'll be
hate
level
the-
16 by then.
I hate that blue team just ran up mid there. The dragon was up, the Baron was up. They got a pick, they chunked everybody. I think they should have just taken control over the objectives. There's no reason to run at the mid tower there. And we saw that it didn't pay them any dividends at
Right, I
all.
completely agree with you, but Red, I still feel like needs some of those miracle team fights. They need blue to
Yes.
grow. They're not in a winning position at all.
Yeah. I mean, they still are down 2k gold. Even after those massive shutdowns that we just saw go over on almost everybody, they're still down that much. So
Also, chat.
I also feel like taking it slower on Blue Team would have been really nice here. Like if you just back up, send the Alawi top lane while she
Yeah.
still has CP, take the dragon, and just let Alawi keep split pushing. That goes a lot smoother. You
Yeah,
don't
for
have
sure.
to have the team fight, right? Like you choose, right? Both teams have to agree
Yeah.
to team fight in order for you to team fight.
Yeah, they're bringing the Alawi down in a lot of these fights, which I think is interesting. I don't like her being mid lane.
Chat mentioned that red team should be looking for team fights, and I kind of, instead of getting picks, but I kind of disagree because this Alawi is so big. You kind of have to kill Alawi before a team fight occurs. But you can't get one shot by
you
the
can pick someone else, right? You just saw there, if she runs in, the fight's a lot easier than if you're running into her, right?
Yeah,
There's been
I
a couple of
understand.
times where we see 2 or 3 people like engage on her, and then she just kills all.
But that's
And we
because
have
they're
seen
going
this
in with the Lilia first, so Lilia just gets instantly one shot.
Oh, they're trying to pick the Alawi again. This might end
Right.
poorly again. Enough damage is coming down, and she does just
Yeah,
die.
but she does trade 1 for 1 and then buys her
Ash is
team
dead
some
here.
time.
And Ash dies to the Hecarim dive.
Yasuo with a knockup. They kill the Cassidy.
And it looks like Cassidon's caught here.
The Sivir is still alive though. The Sivir can put out a lot of damage here.
And the Cassidon actually got out
She just
too.
gets
Okay,
knocked
but
up
he
and
dies.
dies as well.
That's what I was kind of.
It looks like nothing will come out of this. It'll just be a 3.
I'm
a
a
4
little
for 3.
I'm a little confused on Sivir's positioning there. We saw her. She was like in auto range of both Yasuo and the Malphite. I'd like to see the Sivir play these fights a little bit more front to back. There's no need for her to try to dive with the Hecarim and the Cassidon.
So that's what I was kind of talking about by the Alawi picks. Like, the reason why they were kind of just getting stomped whenever they tried to engage with Alawi is they were going in with Lilia, right? So Lilia just gets instantly popped the second she tries to fight the Alawi. Whenever you start with that Ashar and you can get the chain CC from a distance, that's why they were able to kill that Alawi there.
It's still such a gamble though, because they didn't necessarily have vision on where everybody else was. So they're just taking these risky plays, which is honestly what they need to do to get back into the game. So I hope that they keep pulling these triggers. But it is just such a big gamble, because if that Alawi can survive long enough, then the entire team collapses fast enough to where the Alawi lives, and then they wipe your whole team.
All right, so Cassidon just hit level 15, so I'd like to see him try to get this level 16 over the next, 2.5 minutes before this dragon spawns.
Yeah, and I mean, the only objective right now on the map is Baron, so he should be able to comfortably hit that within these 2 minutes, as long as they put him in a side lane and he's able
Right,
to
he has the
free
TP. He can sit bot here, hit that level 16 before he goes into this Baron fight.
And they finally brought the Alawi back into split pushing, which I really like. I hate that she's just been mid lane and just fights in the jungle. I'd love to see her in these side lanes a little bit more.
Yasuo is currently sitting at 11.5k, which is, you know, like in the upper half of this game, but not on top.
He is above the Cassidon though.
It
The
looks like they're going
shutdowns
for that
did
pick
pay
on
dividends.
Alawi again. So Lilia can go for the sleep into the Ashar, and to the Malphite, and that's just a dead Alawi. So this is
The ulti does come down.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
a
and it's
good
just not
pick.
enough healing. That is a really good pick and no response. Let's see if they can get mid lane. I don't know if they can do this fast enough. They might be getting collapsed on here.
looks like Cass can get this.
And the cavalry does arrive.
Yasuo
Oh,
does
the
come
Yasuo with a
He
really
almost
good
gets a
ult.
trade.
They do have to be
Seraphine
careful
missed
though. The
PR.
Seraphine goes wide. And the Hecarim just ults out, and they're out. It's a trade 1 for 1. I think that with how big the Cassidon is, it's fine to trade the Yasuo there, because I think that the Yasuo is so crucial to their team comp that it's almost more valuable to kill the Yasuo than the Alawi here,
The thing is,
especially
they're
since
all
the
recalling
Alawi has TP.
Right, and Dragon's up in, 35 seconds, so this is giving
Yeah.
Red Team Cryo to get vision on this properly.
We
But
do have
Blue Team will be able to re-heal and run back to this Dragon before
Yeah,
it
so
spawns.
and I don't necessarily know that I know if they know that blue team just all of them backed. You want to see them maybe try to rush it or at least bushwhack them here.
Yeah, you definitely want to see all 5 members of Red Team on the
Yeah,
bot side of the
Drag is
map
up in
here.
15. The
And then
Yasuo is running
you want
straight
to
down.
E
now.
across Oz Ash to see like where the rest of the team is, because if you can identify that this is a numbers advantage, then you really just want to try to force it.
Yeah. And this is soul point, so this is really big for red side. This could be the turning point in the game that they need. If they get this soul, then it's just a massive advantage over to the red side.
This is going to be the first fight that we do see the Alawi
Moose
in
is
it,
level
just
16.
a full 5v5 too.
And the Cassidon is in fact level 16 this fight, so he will be really big.
Yeah, he'll be extremely strong, and we also have core item completions coming in as
Ooh,
well.
This is a lot of damage onto the Logan here. No ults were blown to get that poke off either.
I think that a really good way to start this fight is honestly going to be like Lily has flash. Oh, we see the Hecarim
That's
ulti.
a nice Hecarim ulti. Let's see, everybody just gets nuked.
Yeah, on top of the Yumi ulti.
Yasuo
and
on
the
the
Alawi
back
has
line.
a big ultimate. The Alawi ultimate just melts
just a clean
everybody
kill.
there, and the Hecarim
That Hecarim engages
initiating
really
that
nice.
fight. I think the problem there is I would have
Oh.
loved to see the
They're finishing
Lilia.
Dragon. Can Lilia steal this? No.
No, she's too low and too far. I would have loved to see the Lilia go for something aggressive there. She had flash and ulti up. If she just flashes in, Qs like 5 of them and ults them, they could probably instantly burst somebody on that squad. I would have loved to see a little bit more of an aggressive positioning from that Lilia, that fight. I think that would have maybe made the difference.
This will also be Baron going over to blue team. Unless Lilia is a god of this game.
And she is coming. They do place the ward over the wall, so they will see her coming up, but she does have the blast plant. Lilia goes wide. Baron at 6k. They do.
They're taking a lot of
just
damage.
now
Okay, they're
here.
just giving up on it
Yeah,
now.
they have to back off.
Ash could look to army.
No, Ash is
too
Ash is
far.
way too
and
far.
he's on CD.
All right, now what we want to see them do, right, is we want to see them set up these side lanes. They have teleport on both Alawi and Kassadin. They should both be in a side lane. Just put 3 people mid lane, and especially with this Kassadin getting this blue buff, he's just going to be able to endlessly push and not have to worry about anything. So do you think there's still a chance for this red team to maybe look
I
for
definitely
these
think
picks?
that there is
Yeah.
a chance. I still think that they're at the
They have to kill
disadvantage.
Kassadin early in a fight.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Or at least get him to Zanya so he's not doing damage.
Yeah, the only
You
problem
need
is
to make sure that Ash doesn't get picked. You don't want Yas to get picked. Those 2 people need to live longer in
And
fights.
you can't get hit. Everybody can't
yeah.
get hit by the Alawi ulti. That's the
Yeah,
other thing.
and once again, this dragon spawning in 3.5, right? So they're gonna get 2 shots, right? If they give Soul over, it's 100% over, right? But
Yeah.
each dragon that they give over, it gets a little tougher. So
You'd like to see blue side push up, and I'm not sure why they have the Sivir in the side lane. I hate this. They're doing it again. The Sivir should be mid lane, and the Alawi should be top. There's no
and they're
reason
about,
why you
they
have.
see the Sivir top lane, so they actually know right now that
Yeah.
And this is a huge
Kassadin's about to show bot.
Yeah, this is completely like unacceptable on a macro level. I'm not sure why Sivir is just free farming top. Yasuo might be looking to pick her. This could be risky for the Sivir. They do have the control ward there. He doesn't know that
Kassadin
he's
actually
there, and he
gonna
goes
go.
in, and he's just gonna oh no, he does respect it. Sivir late ulti.
They might feel compelled to hit this Baron, but if they do, there's the TP from the Kassadin. And he can just still run across the map right now. Like they do not have
and
enough
they
damage
have
to just
vision on
melt
them
it.
doing this.
Yeah, and then it's really hard for them to like bush stack here because they do have so much AoE wombo with the Hecarim and the Yumi.
And there is so much vision in that area, right? They have the bushes that would have been a bushwhack potential all warded, and they were only able to clear one of them out. Again, though, I want to see this Alawi move into a side lane. I'm not sure what they're doing here. The Sivir is now
okay.
mid at least. It is. It's a little bit better now, yeah. With now that they actually have the Sivir mid and not top, but I think that the Alawi is 100% fine to move into a side lane.
Yeah, they're just waiting it out instead of forcing anything here.
I don't know though. They just have the Baron though, so I feel like they could have used that a little bit more to their
Is Red
advantage.
Team actually going to start this? This seems a little psycho.
Yeah, they still can't bushwhack that initial bush. The bush that they're in right now is not warded though.
Yeah, and they did sweep beforehand. So.
Hopefully the Sivir doesn't face check. Okay, the Alawi's face checking in. She is not the one you want to go on.
Okay, here's
The
the
Sivir
Kassadin
might be
TP in.
caught here. The spell shield is down. She still has the cleanse.
The Hecarim ulti hits
Oh, the Hecarim ulti
nobody,
goes
but
really
he does
wide,
still hit
but
the
the
Ash.
Yumi ulti.
Okay, that is
Yumi ulti
huge.
comes over the
that
top.
Seraphine ulti
Ryan
was so
stays
big,
alive
and
this
Ryan
whole
is just
time.
hammering in damage from the backline. Oh, he's targeting the Kassadin. The Kassadin's one shot in the backline.
Mick does pick up the Kassadin does pick up the Ash.
Oh, but the Alawi is
but the
so
Lilia cleans it up.
huge.
Yeah, the Alawi just
the
can't
Alawi
die
just killed
that
everybody
fight.
right there and did not die.
And this is a Quadra.
You hate to see it. The Lilia is fast. Maybe she
The
gets
UMQ
out.
connects, but it doesn't matter. Lilia's too fast.
Yeah, she takes the blast plant. She gets out just barely by the skin of her
That was
teeth.
so well played by
This
Red
dragon's
Team.
coming up,
However, Alawi is just so big and cannot die, especially
Mm-hmm.
with Yumi on top of her. They isolated the
And look at how much
Kassadin.
anti-heal.
I'd like you guys to look at scoreboard really quickly. I just noticed the Malphite's build. That is extremely questionable. Does he know that Grievous Wounds doesn't
He
stack?
does have Oblivion Orb and Thornmail. That's interesting.
Well, the Thornmail is for when he hard CCs someone, and then the orb is for when he casts.
But
He
is
wants someone.
okay.
But yeah, there's plenty of anti-heal already on the
Yeah,
team.
you have the Chemtech Purifier.
the-
I think that he would have been better off going something tankier.
All right, well, they're starting up this dragon, so it looks like they'll have to wait another 6 minutes, because I don't think they can win this fight. You're running into an Alawi who already has her tentacle set up. I mean, you can try
And
to
then
R-seal it
takes that
with
dragon.
that.
They do get the
maybe.
E, and Seraphine is just chunked. Now it's soul point for both teams. I want to see them just back off. Red team doesn't need to look for a fight here. The objective's already gone.
Yep, blue team can just rotate to Baron here,
Looking at this,
especially after seeing the entire enemy team
Yeah,
bot lane. And they will
that's-
actually mount this.
Yeah, they kill it so fast. It's 36 minutes into this game. This Baron is just going to be gone.
also, I think these stacked mountain dragons are really hurting red team's ability to kill people. Because like those resistances,
Yep.
especially on the already
Yeah.
undying Alawi, is definitely tough to burn through.
Yeah, and the super mobile Kassadin, so you have to lock him down long enough to kill him, but he's so tanky. Although they could look for an exit pick. I think that they...
Okay, Lilia goes for the one-man sleep. The Seraphine ulti hits
Oh, and that
everybody
is a
into the wombo
massive
combo.
Seraphine
This is
ulti.
what red team needed to look for. The Alawi ult is just going to hit everybody, but
Oh my gosh, the Alawi chunks all of them. And then you have the Hecarim
Oh my
cleanup crew coming in, and Mick as well.
oh
Yeah,
my
that was
god!
exactly the team fight that Red Side was looking for. You have to praise them for their efforts. That was such a good pick and a good team fight. But in the end, Blue Side does just have that outscaling factor that I talked about at the very beginning, where it just doesn't matter. Kassadin is so extremely strong at this point, along with the Sivir scaling and just being able to give mobility to that entire team with the Alawi
And
Hecarim.
Alawi ult just kept pounding people with tentacles and had the entire team one-shot before the fight even actually got to develop.
Ooh.
That's a slash FF go next after
Yeah,
that
I mean,
one.
their only hope is like steal this Drake. Not like
Yeah.
not fight, but steal it, because I mean they can't win those.
That was so
Alright,
well.
looks like they
executed,
don't
just didn't
lose
have
here
enough
on the spot
damage.
at least. This dragon's coming up in what, 3 minutes?
Yeah. Yep, it looks like it's coming up in 3 minutes.
I don't even know if they make it 3 minutes.
I would like to praise that Seraphine ulti though. It did hit every single team
Yeah.
member into Malphite, into Yasuo, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah. And if that isn't enough, you have to wonder what is. I mean, that was such a good engage on everybody. I guess the Sivir did cleanse out of it, so they didn't have her in the initial combo. And the Kassadin was able to ult out pretty quickly. So maybe if you catch the Sivir or the Kassadin in that, it looks a little bit different.
Alawi has GA now too, so you can't even kill her in a fight.
She is just unkillable. And the Hecarim's
She's got the
also
Visage,
massive.
Death Dance, I mean, Gore Drinker state. Like, she's full build,
Yeah.
right? This is really rough.
And
At
the
least it doesn't
Kassadin-
get too much harder for Red Team from here on out.
I wonder how close the Kassadin is to his death cap. Let's see, he's sitting on 1800, so he's not too far off of his death cap, and once he hits that, he's full build, and he'll just be a menace. This Ashe has to really watch out for him. And that Banshee's Veil, I love that option on Kassadin right now, right? Because you have the Seraphine ulti, this Ashe ulti, everything, Malphite, they're looking for these picks on you. And that Banshee's Veil allows him to see it coming and ulti out in time before he gets hit by the CC. So I really like that build path.
Ashe can also easily proc it though in team fights. Just tap W.
Yeah, that's fair, but but it still avoids those massive just alt picks they're looking for.
Yeah, this is just impossible.
Yeah, they're just sparing up the minions, letting them siege. And their bot wave is slowly pushing in with these supers. It's going to start pressuring the base even more. Somebody's going to have to clear those, and once they do, I think this mid tower might be in danger of just going down. The Alawi with the Yuumi can just absorb all of this poke, and it doesn't matter. The Kassadin getting chunked, but he just goes in on the Ashe, and the Ashe is instantly dead.
Ooh.
Lilia.
Yeah, they just don't have any
And,
damage still alive.
They don't have enough, and the Hecarim is also just as massive as the Alawi, and he's just unkillable right now.
And this game is for sure over now. So, what does red team need to do here?
I think, honestly, the adaptation is sending Aaron top and, like, Ryan mid. I don't think that they can leave Kagan up there with Logan. Logan is just such an abusive top laner that they honestly just, they can't risk him getting ahead that far, that early, because it warped the entire state of the game. All the pressure they were able to get bought was completely nullified by this massive Alawi split pushing threat, right? So I'd really like to see them stick Aaron in the top lane. What are your thoughts on that, Connor?
All right, I'm gonna turn on cam since we can do that. My thoughts is ban the Hecarim, ban the Udyr, and then ban Kassadin first pick Seraphine, and just let him play Yorick top lane, and then sign someone who's competent top lane to handle him. And then I like the idea of playing top side and then not worrying too much about bot side and putting your weaker players down there and just really playing this top half map, which is what Moose's team likes to do, right? Their first few picks, along with Moose, are all going on this top side of the map. So I like the idea of matching their top side. That game actually looked really good at the start. So, I mean, if they just didn't overextend bot lane, they could try to run it back with the same strategy and just mix up the bans a little. It just seems like Moose's team always gets a lot of what they want, right? Like, top lane on Alawi, that's what Logan wants. Getting Hecarim for Jeanette, it's what he wants. I mean, like, all of these lanes are like pretty happy. It's Moose has to show a new champion here with the Kassadin. But even then, it's like he did fine. He was happy with the pick.
That's
like,
another thing that
there was not a single player who was just really upset with like how that draft turned out. So like maybe you can start looking to pinch and like punish particular players. So like maybe if you want to hard punish Logan, you look to 3-ban them, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was gonna say. Mick, like as he just showed, he has a deep enough pool to where he can bring out stuff that we don't even know about, right? So I think that it's just like at this point, I think you don't ban Mick, since you know he's not going in a lane like support. I definitely like the 3-banning Logan idea and taking him off comfort.
The thing worth noting, though, is if you do 3-ban Logan, you have to win that lane, right? Like, you need to put someone who's able to beat him, and even then, he does have more... I mean, Ryan should know what all his champs are, because we do have that shared sheet, so... I imagine that he grabbed it and looked to see what all he likes to play, or just knows it by memory.
And you're also risking not banning the Hecarim as well, though, if you 3-ban. So I think maybe a 2-ban into a Hecarim ban.
This is why I'm saying maybe just don't ban Logan at all, and then send to Aaron or someone who can handle him top lane, and then look elsewhere on the map to get these punishes. So look at banning maybe the Hecarim, the Udyr, and really challenging the jungler. And then you can ban like these scary picks like the Kassadin, right? So if you ban the Kassadin and then first pick the Seraphine, you're forcing Moose to either show you something new or play Malzahar, right? And if you go into next bans without him picking the Malzahar and then you getting the counter pick, or I mean he could pick it on pick 3 because they're red team now, but you know, if you pick something good into the Malzahar or they don't pick it, you can then push Moose's champ pool even further down the line. He's probably willing to play Garen mid, so you might have to entertain stuff like that. But I mean, once you're saying Garen mid and like an Urgot or an Alawi top lane, like this is stacking a lot of AD, and if you ban out Jeanette and you can punish that, or if you can ban out someone else, I think that's really the way you have to go here.
And honestly, they're blue side, so they don't even need to ban the Udyr. They could just first pick it. We know Daup likes that pick. If it's not banned by Mick's team, they could pick it themselves, and that's just a really strong first pick coming out of a blue side. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see what their adaptations will be. What about you, Caleb?
I completely agree with this idea of the clash of the Titans, right? Throw your best players against their best players and really just try to dominate the top side. Like, just fight for that top side of the map. I really like this idea. I think it sounds more entertaining. We get to really focus in on these head-to-head matchups, and I think that you have to be able to contest Mick's top side of the map to win a game against Mick's team. I completely agree with you guys. I think that's what we should see here. I also agree with Connor's banning strategy of, banning the Hecarim, banning the Udyr, and then I think we said Kassadin ban, but...
They honestly can entertain running it back, though, right? Like, if they run it back and just don't make these mistakes early on in the game, like just those early game mistakes are, like, really punished, right? But they can win with their old strategy if they make some small modifications. It's not like they have to abandon ship here. I know at the end the games seemed very lopsided, but in all honesty, they were not that lopsided. Right? Like it just started to show towards that late game. The early game, I mean, Ryan's team looked good at the start. It was just a couple of mistakes, and they did get the cast in. They did get these scalers, so they could also look at getting rid of the scalers and staying on, especially if that's what they feel most comfortable on right now. If they can stop the scaling, or maybe pick a few scalers that can match up on their own, that could work out for them. So, is there a draft link?
I'm not even in the game yet. I don't have anything.
Yeah, I haven't been sent an invite either.
There is a draft link in 2021 Intramurals, and I just got an invite by Connor.
Looking at those damage charts from last game, it's almost hysterical. That Alawi just by far warped everybody.
We're in draft. Can you link it?
It's in UMKC Intramurals.
Can you? Okay, yeah. My Discord crashes when I click on it, so hopefully I don't crash out. Am I robot yet?
No, you're not robot. I also just put it in league chat. So what we see is we're just seeing the same bans by both teams, it looks like.
Wow.
Which I really hate. I really would have liked
they're banning the Yumi instead of the Hecarim.
Oh yeah, that was a switch.
I don't agree with that at all. I don't know why
so they left open the mouths are hard then.
Maybe they're hoping to get the Udyr counter pick into the Hecarim. But even then, it's like, why don't you challenge him instead of...
I hate leaving up that Hecarim. I would agree with you, Connor, and he really has been.
Yeah, and they just ran the Udyr.
Unless they're first picking the Hecarim. That's also a possibility.
Yeah, but even then, like
also,
these, what is the Swain ban at?
Mick isn't playing support. Swain mid's not as strong as the oppressive Swain lane support.
Caleb, you might want to show ban phase on the stream.
Oops.
Yeah. First pick Kaisa. Yeah, I
really don't like this.
This looks like
they just grabbed the Hecarim here instantly, and I really dislike this. I mean, we're just gonna see the same. Yeah, and
this is just getting everything over to Moose's team that he could possibly want.
Yeah, that wombo combo is insane. The Hecarim ulti with the Seraphine ulti to follow it up is just gonna be disgusting. It's almost like we're seeing. I feel like we're gonna see basically a reenactment of what Ryan's team had last game on the side of red team this time again, and it's just gonna be like
okay. They're changing it up. Dalpa's playing. Okay. Yeah, that's Dalpa Nautilus.
Okay.
So they're really gonna try to powerhouse bot lane this game. Kaisa Nautilus is not necessarily the greatest lane to do this on because the Seraphine, this Hecarim, like these two champions are going to be really problematic. I mean, if you're trying to powerhouse bot lane, I don't think you need.
But there's the Lilia. So maybe it is Cole on the Nautilus. Either way, it is still more of an aggressive lane. And you have to think they match ADC here, right? Do you think that they just...
They can pick support. Because this is Seraphine mid. Like everyone knows it's Seraphine mid.
I almost think that...
Yeah, just grab the Yorick.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, man.
Was left
this
open.
Is just rough. I think the Garen top from that game 1 is really scary. I mean, Moose switched mainly because it was just the favorable matchup, and like that's the reason he played the Garen mid or the Garen top. I don't think it has to be a perma ban. I think you can draft around it.
Yeah.
I feel like this is just a lot of like lack of draft prep. Not realizing like coming in with different plans for like different scenarios, right? Like you can come into draft 1 and say we're going to do this, and also be prepared for like we could also go and do this or that.
Yeah, what I really hate is the lack of adaptation. I mean, like even if they had a plan game 1, the fact that it didn't work should have been apparent, and I think that they should have adapted for sure.
Well, yeah, and like the game plan for game 1 almost worked, right? Like they got ahead early, and you could try to do some small variations, but like you still want to make variations in the sense of what went really well for the enemy and change those, especially because you are on blue team, right? Like handing over Hecarim and Seraphine and Yorick, like all 3 of those people are super happy with their picks right now.
What I'd really like to actually see here is a Malphite ban. They go with the Renekton. I would have loved to see a Malphite ban just to take him off of even like a potential of an impactful champion, right? Because Malphite, although he was down that almost like 100 CS, he still had an impact because of his ultis. So if they ban that, I think that it just makes top completely useless. I would have loved to see a Malphite ban.
I think the philosophy behind this is that Yorick can just get a huge lead against Malphite. Just huge, right? Like, and that was enough to carry the game last time around. I personally would have rather seen mid lane bans. This Captain ban shows a lack of prep. They should know that this is most likely a Seraphine mid rather than
Yeah.
Moose mid. Or okay, Lux. I don't know if he plays Lux support or if that's
It
Lux
has
mid.
to be.
Yeah,
Mick
I'm
isn't
gonna say
playing
that's the
Lux
Lux
mid.
support.
He's playing
Yeah.
Seraphine.
Which I do like because it's also a takeaway from a potential Ryan playing mid lane. So I mean it's not too
We'll
bad.
have to see what Mix-a-Lot does here.
I mean I can already see the ulties lining
That's
up
Kagan
now.
on set.
He does like the set. He plays a lot of set.
This
But I
seems
feel-
really ambitious, though. You don't really want to pick that if you're going to lose your
Especially,
lane.
yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
I feel like it's definitely more volatile than the Malphite for sure.
All right, what's the mid lane pick into
Cassiopeia.
the Seraphine?
Cass.
Okay, Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is one of those things Ryan also likes to play. So
I love the Cass, but I hate the Cass into that team. I mean, you have a Hecarim, a Seraphine, a Lux. None of those you want to be up in their face. The Cass is just going to get like insta popped if she tries to step up in a
Also,
team fight.
Yeah, so-
Miasma doesn't
and
even
their
have very
whole
much
team
value.
compass.
Yeah, so like I just the Cass I love her as a champion and she scales well and she ensures that they have a little bit of a late game, but that late game isn't enabled because
Right.
she's just completely countered by their whole comp. Ooh.
It's a Lux ADC, Seraphine ADC. This is Seraphine ADC,
Seraphine
Galio mid,
ADC.
and Lux support probably.
Interesting. So Seraphine Lux bot lane. I'm excited to see.
Or Lux
I'm
Galio
excited
bot
to
lane.
see if Ryan is on the Cass and Aaron's on Kaisa, or if it's flip flopped.
Yeah. So I don't like this from Red Team. I actually don't like either of these teams like drafts. I don't like how Red Team
Yeah.
finished out their draft because they don't need to do any of this weird stuff. They don't need to show shenanigans. They can stick with what's true and they should be able to win just already.
Yeah, I would have liked to definitely see traditional ADC here, especially against the
Right.
the
And then
Kaisa.
on blue side here, here's the problem I have, right? Like, so you have the Lilia, the not the set, right? Like, you're all wanting to go in, and then you pick Cassiopeia, and it's just like, what does Cassiopeia do here, right? Regardless of the 5 champions on the enemy team, but especially when you start looking at those 5 champions, it's just this seems really disjointed, right? Like, there's no coherent picture on blue team, but similarly, like red team doesn't. Like, what is the idea of the... So you have the Hecarim, you have the Seraphine. Like, these are 2 great team fighters. Yorick is the guy's OTP, so, you know, he can pick it whenever he wants.
Yeah.
And then Lux Gallia is a little weird. Gallia's, you know, obviously going to R in onto the Hecarim, so that kind of makes sense. But the Lux pick seems a little awkward.
Yeah, although we do have to remember that their bot lane did get kind of pummeled last game. And it was really top that kind of brought back that difference. So I think that like going into this, I wonder if the jungler is just going to focus top a lot more here and make sure that this set has a decent laning phase, so that way they don't get a massive lead like last time. Or do you think that the Lilia is just gonna cram it down? Or do you think that the Hecarim is just going to? Sorry, or do you think that the Lilia is just going to cram it down bot lane and try to get push the lead?
He has to play bot lane. He can't play top lane. Top is going to lose. I mean, I hate to say it, but there is a huge skill discrepancy in the top lane.
Yeah.
And there's also the fact that Yorick is the guy's OTP, right? Like, that isn't changing. Also, notice the Seraphine pick on Exorex. Unless they're trading, that means that it is actually a Seraphine support and the Galio mid on Moose. So it is, in fact, the Lux support. And I guess that means the Caston ban feels a lot better here. Just because, you know, they're showing this a little early. But I would have rather seen... Like, Moose doesn't have to show his weird draft variations. Because he is... Like, his team is already in playoffs after that win, right? Like,
also, how do you like the Galio into the Cass?
Galio and Cass?
Yeah.
Cassiopeia? I don't love it.
I feel like that's not a very good matchup. I mean, you have the
right. I feel like Seraphine is fine.
Yeah, Seraphine I feel like was better.
Yeah, I do feel like if they just stuck with the traditional, it would have been better. Maybe they're trying this out because they're not so confident and they want to get a scrim game in on it. But yeah, okay. Dalp is jungling, so once again, they are not powerhouse bot laning with this Dalp Ryan bot lane. So it seems like they're just trying the same thing again, but just slightly less optimally. It feels.
Yeah.
But maybe this Galio mid pick might also throw off Red's draft.
Yeah, I mean, last time, the only reason why I feel like Red side even had a chance was because of the lead that they got bot side. So if you have a Galio that maybe can nullify that by ulting down there whenever the Lilio's trying to get a triple kill, like last game or something like that, I feel like I can see the Galio pick working, but he really has to make like the map work because I feel like he doesn't actually win that lane very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Cass can go, phase rush and then have the priority almost every time, just shoving up, and then if Galio tries to go down, hit him 3 times and run down.
In
faster.
the same breath, though, I don't even like Cassiopeia on blue side either. I don't think that
No,
was a
I
good
don't.
pick.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
really
still
feel
bad.
like this draft fell apart very early for blue team, and then a little bit later on red team side. I feel like if red team just picks an ADC and then a regular support, they're vibing.
Yeah, I definitely think that I would still give the edge to red side even if they drafted a little bit weird in their last 2 picks, just because the Cassio outside of lane becomes completely useless. She really cannot navigate these team fights, so I just feel like their comp is going to struggle.
We picked the Cassiopeia knowing that they were running Seraphine Lux already. We didn't know Galio, but we knew everybody else's picks. So it's not even like you can have a game-changing Cassiopeia ultimate stun, because Hecarim is unstoppable during his ulti, so he can dive through your whole team. You can't like stop that from happening.
And you have a Galio on top of that.
You also have a Galio to like nullify any stun you may hit, and then you have Lux Seraphine, which just greatly outrange you. So like this Cassiopeia, I feel like was a weak pick already. Like even though it's a favorable matchup into Galio specifically, I just don't think it was a good pick as a team, and it won't enable Aaron as well as blue team would hope for.
Yeah, especially since it was I believe a blind pick, because I think the Galio came out last. So not only was it like a really aggressive, weird blind pick, but they just got lucky with the counter. The Mick could have picked something to counter it, and it would have been even worse. Yeah, they knew exactly.
They had the read. But yeah, I hate bashing on both these teams over and over here. But like, imagine if red team, instead of picking the Lux and the Galio at the very end, send that Seraphine mid lane and then grab Morgana and then a safe ADC.
Yeah.
Right? Like that just completely nullifies, right? Bot is lost, top is lost, mid is lost, jungle is, Jeanette's on his comfort pick, and I mean, it seems like he did more than the Dalp last game, right? Like,
Sadly,
it feels like you could guarantee winning all 3 lanes, but this Lux and Seraphine, they're both super squishy into this Ryan Nautilus, and that might lead up to some huge openings where Ryan can get these free kills.
Although
and if Ryan does get ahead, maybe he can just melt off this.
I like their lane a lot, although one thing that kind of worries me is they didn't ban the Hecarim. So last game, Hecarim was able to like really punish them whenever they were over pushing. And the Kai'Sa Not are wanting to do the same thing. They need to get this massive lead bot side, so they need to be able to get an advantage in lane. But with the Hecarim just being able to run into the lane anytime he wants, it's really dangerous.
Also, just real quick, I want to look at bot lane. Right. So we see that Ryan and Cole want to generate this massive lead bot lane, but they're playing into Seraphine Lux. How well is that going to go, do you guys think?
I think it is all dependent on Cole's ability to hit hooks. I think that if he hits a hook, then they actually have some kill potential. But if he's not able to actively hit his hooks and they're just able to get to level like 6, then I think that the lane starts to get a little dangerous for them, because they're not going to be able to push a lead. And the Lux and Seraphine at that point just have so much CC, and if one of them hits all, another hits an all. So it's just, they also have pick potential at that point.
One thing to note is that the Lux is going Comet. I was kind of expecting a double Guardian, but Lux went Comet with the Seraphine Guardian. So they have a little bit more poke, less defense in terms of runes. They're running...
Could they not both go summon Aerie?
Yes, but generally, like, whenever people were playing, like, Sona Lux, like, Sona Seraphine, it was just, like, double Guardian.
Okay.
Because
give you
the Guardian shield is, like, more prominent than an Aerie would be.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see like, if you're confident you outskill your opponent, you could go double summon Aerie. Right, because the Nautilus, you can just harass him out, you know. This does mean there's a lot of value on Moonstaff for Seraphine, though.
And I wonder if And I wonder if the Lilia might adapt her build and go for more of the Moonstone supportive build. I mean, last game we saw that she was really just kind of getting one-shot in fights. She kind of got her sleep off, but that was it. So I think that if she does go for a more supportive build this game, she might be a little bit more useful. She might be able to heal her team, provide a little bit of stats to them as well. So I'd almost like to see the Lilia opt in for the more supportive build this game.
Also, take what I say with a grain of salt because I'm no expert. But on the side of Mix team, we don't see a lot of just like raw damage output. And so the Lilia Moonstaff with that constant healing application may be able to give Ryan's team some more fight potential because these fights are going to be longer and drawn out. Even though Mixed team has this wombo combo, there's not a lot of damage involved. They don't have a traditional ADC. Their top lane is more of a split pusher rather than a team fighter anyway. And so I'm curious to see how these fights go. And I agree that Moonstaff might be a better build for Lilia this game than the damage.
All right, with that, let's get into it.
I don't know about that one because it's just going to pair up with the Kassadin, right? Or Cassiopeia. I was mainly talking about like Seraphine going Moonstaff here. Right, because you got the okay.
No,
I didn't know.
I agree with that. I'm saying also on the Lilia instead of
I was
damage.
saying, no, because afterwards I was saying the Lilia I think should go for the Moonstone in this game. And so he was, not that. So we do see a 5-point here. The Nautilus, well, actually it's kind of a botched 5-point. I'm not sure. Okay, they turn it into a normal 5-point. I thought maybe we would have gotten some cheese out of the Nautilus, but they opted not to do that. Just the standard starts. Hecarim's just gonna place the Warden back for a
Do you think
sweeper.
Lux builds Moonstone?
She can. I don't think she
What does Lux build?
but she can. Oh,
Should
probably
just go full damage.
Mandate. That's fair.
Mandate.
I kind of forgot about that item just because of Moonstone.
Yeah,
This is the
Moonstone
second time
really
that we've
good
seen
right
Shalabrin take the Relic Shield.
Yeah. I think it's just a respect for if it was against Dalp or something, right? Like if you do not want to trade and you're just confident trading in your lane's going to result in you losing, then you go Relic Shield, right?
Right, but I feel like this lane especially, it probably would have just been better to go Spell Thieves, but...
Yeah, it's almost always better to just go Spell Thieves on these type of champions he plays.
So we see a split start from the junglers this game, unlike last time where they both started on the same, which I actually really like this from the Hecarim. Last game, we saw the bot lane try to get an
Here's
advantage.
the hook.
Already landing a hook.
Yep, just auto.
This
And
is
this
going to
gives
be
so
a
much damage
big
because
trade
of
to
the
blue
Kaisa
side.
passive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is where like the safer bot lane may have been the way to go for Ryan's team. Or for Moose's team. Sorry.
Oh, another
Ooh,
hook!
and then
Oh,
again.
and another.
It's not a
And that's
kill,
flash.
but it is a flash.
Flash heal.
Flash for Ignite. But this is...
Oh, no heal, no heal. Just flash.
The Nautilus is popping the potion, so he'll be topped right back off. That's definitely worthwhile.
And Hecarim's full clearing, by the way. He's not actually speeding pathing down bot lane. He's just getting level 4, and then he might gank bot lane.
I was really hoping he might have adapted his pathing because we know that they're trying to get this advantage bot side, and they already are
He's gonna
doing
level 3
so.
fight Lilia. He's gonna level 3 fight Lilia on blue.
No, I think he's just looking for
Oh,
a gank.
no, he's
Or
just
gank
gonna go
mid?
for
The
a gank mid.
flash.
Get the taunt. Pushes him out.
He still gets it.
Oh,
Ryan's dead.
and he's still dead.
That is huge for Moose's
Yeah,
team.
Aaron goes. He wastes his flash and he dies. That is super unfortunate.
A lot of poke damage. onto
Yeah,
the-
that's a really good trade
Kaisa.
back.
The set is
Kagan though on his top
Yeah.
side. He's already. He's actually still even in CS, or kind of. After Logan collects this wave, he'll be up a little. The gank does come through. Logan's a little overextended.
It's a flash. We're leaving some of the pressure off of him.
Oh, and the hook hits a minion. It's super
He gets
unfortunate.
poked out again.
Yeah, and they just trade a
And
lot of damage
Ryan-
back.
Yeah, and Hecarim's getting this scuttle.
And they know
here.
Yeah, he is on a
there.
So he
ward.
pathed the wolves and then pathed back down onto Scuttle. This is a little bit inefficient on his jungle clear.
For sure, and I would have liked to see him, if he was going to commit for the hard clear, to just full hard clear. But I guess the gank kind of threw that off a little bit.
The Yorick is all in.
Oh, and Keegan's dead here.
And the Lilia is not in range.
Oh,
That is
maybe?
just so much
Oh, he
damage coming out of the
flashed.
York, and he still burns the flash. That you hate to see that.
Yeah, he needed to flash out of the box early if he was going to flash at all.
So here, this game is kind of blown open in a couple of lanes. Oh, an aggressive trade happening.
Ryan actually is taking a lot of damage
There was so much poke, and he traded into the minion wave.
Ryan is really low. Even after you said that, he kept taking damage.
Yeah. And the
Hecarim's
Hecarim
coming.
is there.
They see him.
The
but
Hecarim
it
has a
doesn't-
good gank angle here.
Not has took it. Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay, he's
And it
still
looks
up.
like they're just going to walk this out, but they do force them off of the wave, which is super nice. As I was saying just a second ago, the junglers here have a lot of pressure on the map right now because so many lanes are missing flashes, and that's going to be like super big to watch. I really hope that these junglers take advantage of this and abuse it. The cast is actually up quite a bit of CS here, but that's kind of as we expected, although the Galio is getting the shove on her.
Oh,
That was a good
Good
trade,
trade.
Kagan.
Yeah, that was a good trade. You hate to see that their bot lane isn't a little bit farther ahead. They're kind of equal on CS right now, and you really want to see their bot lane getting a little bit more pressure for them to have a chance
and
this game.
they also need to do a lot early in the spot lane. Like, the
Yeah.
Seraphine Lux, the later the game goes, the harder it is, right? Like, the
And
Lux, the Snare, the Slow, the Root, like, all of that just chains so well.
see
Yeah,
how
and
this
that
game
Lux
goes
flash
here.
is coming
Yeah.
back up.
Logan has no flash.
He did just hit 6, though.
Yeah, and this might turn into. Really
Yeah, and
bad
then
for
he's
Blue.
the Hecarim is also coming up. The Hecarim's in the river,
And
and
they're gonna,
he doesn't
they're
even
gonna
need
double
him.
kill.
And
He's
minions
gonna
will
die to the
kill.
minions, and that is super unfortunate. You hate to see that, and just like that, the game momentum is completely shifted. That's 2k gold up for red side here.
Yeah, and Blue has to force selling bot lane, but they just can't at this point. Like, the Lux is actually, they really needed to look to get a lot in that level 1, level 2, level 3 area.
Yeah.
And they did get a lot, but they never actually transitioned it. And now this Kaisa, it's really hard to do anything.
And the Lux Flash is just pretty much back up at this point, and they're under tower, so you can't really look for a hook in the last few seconds that it's down. So the advantage that they got is just completely nullified, and the CS is caught back is not too far off.
Do you think that it's a good idea to be constantly pushing into this red team as Ren?
As who?
Like, do you think it's a good idea for Ryan to be perma-shoving into red team?
No.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, isn't
You
the
want
idea
space
that
for
you want
Nautilus.
to have Nautilus hook ability?
Yeah, you want space for the Nautilus. You do not want to auto shove into that lane. If you freeze it in front of your turret, they're so squishy.
Yeah,
And
I
if
would
you-
have
as
liked
long
to
as
see
you don't
him
like
do that.
over freeze it, right? Like if you keep just barely enough minions so that you don't have to tank a bunch of damage just to hold the excessive freeze, and you can hold that freeze perfectly. Like, this is actually really hard for Lux and Seraphine to approach.
Especially with not shield, because you can just like hold the minion wave for free, and it also stops those Hecarim ganks that we saw earlier. They
need
do
to
have a
look for
little bit
something
of
before
advantage.
Seraphine hits 6.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess they can try to look and wait for the not hook or not R, but it still feels really rough.
We're looking for a hook
right
here.
here.
They do hit the Seraphine.
Yep.
Is it enough?
Yeah,
Flashes out
that's a flash.
and the heal.
and the Hecarim is here
With
to
the counter
turn it.
gank
and the
Lilia
TP
is
play.
as well.
This is just
Lilia
This
has
is
an
losing for
ulti on,
Blue.
Three-man
on
taunt.
2 members. Lily gets hit by the binding, and the Lux
this is a
flashes
big
out.
loss for Blue.
Oh, the
Cassiopeia
cast
doesn't
ulti
do
hits
anything.
nobody.
They
They
don't
do.
even get the trade.
Oh, they don't. The
Ryan,
Conqueror
they-
comes through, and then the cast dies as well.
Yeah,
That
and
is
this game
super
just looks sold.
unfortunate.
I mean-
Yeah, after that team fight, the advantage that they had bot lane is just completely gone. It was a great collapse.
What do you do?
Ban Hecarim.
No, you can't do that now. I mean, how do you get back in? Like, Ryan really needs to get wins here. Like, this is really, I mean, they're not knocked out by any means if they lose this one, but it's
Yeah.
going to be a really rough path for them if they can't figure this out.
I think that it's really difficult, especially in this game. I think that they really just need to figure out their drafting phases. As you were pointing out, they just had a really weak draft phase, and a lot of their picks just kind of didn't make sense. So I think that they need to sit down with their team and figure out what they're doing in draft well before they actually play the team, and be willing to actually adapt during it, to not stick to just whatever game plan they came up with.
I like going for these high variance plays on blue team. Like, you're so far behind as is, like, why not, right? Like, yeah, you guys have no idea if they actually recalled or not or whatever, but like, just taking this is great, right? Like,
yeah,
I feel like they just have to keep looking for these high variance plays and then just hope they pay off.
Yeah.
And like, each time it doesn't pay off, it means they have to like go deeper into this gamble, right?
Oh, I'd like to
we
point
gotta try
out
more harder shenanigans.
I'd like to point out a build here. If we look at mixed build, he actually took Shirelia's Revelry. That's really interesting. I guess it works really well with the Hecarim and the Yorick.
Yeah, and the stats aren't bad, right? And it allows, it's a little wonkier compared to like Proto Belt Taunt or whatever.
Yeah.
Still do it, right?
Yeah. Still gives the movement speed. Oh, a good ulti coming out.
Maybe.
Ryan just can't follow though because he was rooted that entire fight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Luxar down.
That was
Galio's rotating down. This should be on the map. Like Cass should realize this.
We don't see any pings coming down.
Oh
but I think
man,
they
this
just
is a
know.
Herald and Maiden on this lane.
Yeah, and he's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, you're about
The
to see two
W
turrets go down at the same time.
Comes down, and he's just still eating the damage from the ulti.
He may have dropped
Oh, bot lane fight coming down. The ignite comes down.
Seraphine hits
ulti.
and it just disengages instantly.
Yeah, and Kaisa has no health or mana now, so they have to be careful.
The Lilia flash.
Oh, she does get the sleep off.
But Hecarim comes in to
Hecarim's
save.
here to... Yeah.
She was trapped
Might
in the
even-
wall for just a little bit too long. Oh, did she turn it? Okay, I think they just handshake this and walk away. I don't think it's smart to go back in.
Wait, did Cassio go Conquer?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, she did. Which, I mean, it allows for a little bit more scaling, but into this team comp, that's not what you need. You definitely need that movement speed. So I would have really liked to see her go that phase rush.
Oh, Hecarim? Hecarim got skill on both here, right?
Oh,
no.
he's stunned. He
Do they
might
get the
just
gold for
die
Galio?
here.
Yes, they do. And Lilia
And
as
they're
well.
out.
Galio arrives. That's a
That's
Galio
really
ulti down. That is definitely really big. They get a good
Shutdown going
shutdown
on the
there.
pass. Yep.
For what it's worth, it is very good.
Yeah, and again, the avenue for them back into the game just seems like they have to get these picks, and preferably before dragons, right? Because they got that early dragon off of the gamble, and that gambit worked really well for them, and I think that if they're able to stack the dragons again, then maybe they have a chance if they are able to pull out a soul.
Well, and keep in mind, right, like, they don't lose this game on time alone, right? Like, Cassiopeia matches Seraphine in terms of scaling, and it's not like there's any other huge scaling on the team, right? Like, Lilia's alright as she scales.
The only thing that I worry about
Might-
is as the game goes on, the Yorick just gets even stronger in the side lane, and they really do not have an answer for that Yorick.
Yeah, but it's not like the rest of the team can punish if you pinch too hard, right? Like,
Yeah.
their damage on turret is lacking. Like, they don't have the ADC. These
That
mid
is very
laners,
true.
you know, the Galio has to
We see
walk
the
up to
Hecarim
auto
back
it.
here. Does it result in anything?
That's a
Ryan
good
Nautilus
ulti and an
is
E.
out. The Nautilus is
Yeah,
going
his
up.
ulti just
I
left.
think the Nautilus is protected. Oh, he gets hit by the
Seraphine R is huge here.
Okay, he's
Yeah.
still out. Okay, with the flash.
The flash
Okay,
gets him
everyone got out alive.
Mhm.
That's nice.
That is really nice. It's a lot of key ultis blown. With this drag coming up in about a minute, I'm really interested to see what blue team is going to do here. I think that they definitely want to stack these, but it's also really risky because they're behind, right? So I wonder what they're going to do here. What's their game plan?
Push the gambit further or wait till a better opportunity. Yeah, it looks like Lilia is pathing bot lane. You could also send the set bot lane. Yeah, Yorick doesn't have TP here, so you could, in theory, have the 5-man and sack this
They
top
do
tower.
have this really deep ward that we see right here. I would have loved to see a set teleport there almost instantly.
They're seeing the recall. They're seeing the recall.
Uh,
Blue team is seeing the recall here.
yeah.
And they're canceling it. Okay, this is great, because it shows
yeah.
their intent that they're wanting to recall, right?
Mm-hmm. They do trap him here, which is nice.
No. Don't force it.
They do trap him here, which is nice because they do have a back on them. So the set does have the teleport to join the fight, and the Yorick doesn't. But if the set leaves lane, Yorick is just probably going to get a tower off of it because he's just perma shoved. Do you think that would be worth it or no?
What is the dragon? Air?
Looks to be air. Yeah.
No, I think this is one that if you stack too
going
much,
in.
it's not that worth.
Okay, the Yorick just runs up to the dragon anyway. He said he respects that he doesn't have that teleport, and he's not gonna put pressure on top lane. Oh, that's a good hook, and the Galio doesn't come down. Yeah.
Cass has flash. They have ways of entering this pit.
The Yorick moved up. The set has the teleport. I really want to see a teleport here.
He needs to start it.
Yeah, he really needs to start the teleport. And he's still not
teleporting.
teleporting. Set really needs to teleport. Set really needs to teleport.
And
Set just doesn't teleport this entire fight.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate because their jungler got killed early on in that, and then it's just going over. I don't think the set TP was the only thing that went wrong there, though.
There was definitely a little bit of misplays, and they stepped a little bit too far forward, and the Nautilus tried to force a bit too hard there, but I still would have loved to see the set teleport, and I'm not sure what he's holding it for.
And they're just going to eat this turret.
And we see that Yorick CS gap, as he was free farming mid as well there, is just like steadily growing. He's up 60 CS at this point. Yeah.
Ooh.
There is a massive wave crashing here top. I wonder if he's going to stay for it. He is, and the Yorick is coming up. Oh, okay, now he respects it and backs off. Oh. And the Lilia ulties the Galio here.
They hit the hook.
The Lux is there. I don't think it matters though. The Galio is just dead. This is a really good pick for them. Another shutdown.
And this is double Moonstone bot lane, by the way.
Yeah, and I think that they do actually maybe turn this into a mid tower. Yeah, because it looks like they're just going bot lane.
They're gonna get the Herald instead. I don't like it. I'd rather.
I think the guaranteed tower is much better here. The Herald doesn't necessarily guarantee a tower, right? You have to almost win a fight or be able to drop it when they're not in the lane.
I think the Herald take here is more about it, because like a Yorick with Herald, with Maiden, with all these tools, like that just melts towers on the split push, and it can actually just make it a nightmare. So I think they're going for this type of play, but I agree. I would have rather seen the mid tower take. But maybe they couldn't do it, or maybe they weren't sure they could.
We see a Galio TP behind the Cass, and he is on the way. He's pinging it. Cass does not know yet.
Yeah, Cass has to really hard outplay this.
Yeah, and she just isn't going to be able to. She almost gets a return kill, but sadly can't quite do it. So we just have a trade of objectives, a kill bot side for the Herald top. And what's impressive about Galio is he just has that ulti up now, so it doesn't even matter that he expended the TP because he can join a fight no matter what. So it's really scary for this Cass whenever she's trying to split. Don't need the blue buff over to Seraphine. She's just going to be spamming all of those pokey abilities and the healing. So how are you feeling about blue side, Caleb? What do you think their avenue back into this game is?
I mean, I think that they have to just keep looking for those miracle picks before team fights and try to push that into a further objective, but we're kind of seeing half of that being executed. Like, right then, they could have just pressured the mid tower and possibly even taking it, but they went for the second Herald.
Oh!
Ooh.
That damage was big.
Yeah, that was insane. We just see the power of this Yorick coming out.
Yeah, I want to see 5-man brush stacking. Like you just need to cheese it for the rest of the game. Like if if you're a blue team and you're sitting in the brackets and you're 2-3 currently, it's like you need to get this win here. I mean, you can't really afford to give up. So like just 5 stack of bush. I mean, look for any cheese you can.
Yeah, and Heckram does ping down that shutdown on the Yorick, and as I'm looking at it now, that is a 700 gold bounty. The Yorick is so massive right now. Maybe if they can get that onto like a Kaisa or something, if they can get the pick in the side lane, then I can see them having maybe a chance to cheese them a little bit more, but they'd definitely be looking for some of these bounties that are going to start accruing. They are down about 10k, and everybody says that 10k is the magic number to where once a team is up 10k, it's almost impossible to come back. So let's see if blue team can make a miracle here and defy the norm.
If they can hold on and not drop any Nexus turrets, or not Nexus turrets, Inhib turrets, I feel like they could in theory turtle.
Yeah. It is hard for
Donatos is getting
red side.
Blows his flash, but nothing further.
They do expend the Lux ulti, but that's it.
Red team just has complete control of drag. Does blue team try to
And
steal?
he's dead.
Okay, the hook gets him out.
No, blue team has to handshake it
Blue
over.
team has to just hard turtle here. They got the early one, so at least it's not soul point. So that's actually really big. Them getting that early infernal denies the soul point here. So it does allow them to turtle for a little bit longer, as Connor was talking about. And they bring the Yorick down again, so there's just not even a chance for them to get a pick in the side lane or anything.
This is just ban.
You see the
Cassiopeia does have TP, but
yeah,
it's
but if she TPs, then it almost all.
It's impossible to run into red team.
Yeah.
They're going to
set
pick
might
the
be
set.
picked here.
He's just gone.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, I would have liked to see him ult that heck from there to the tower and maybe look to
He
get
actually
out.
blew that R cooldown at the very end of the fight.
Oh, he did,
Right before
yeah.
he died, he tried to ult, I believe, Galio, but didn't matter at all.
Oh, and the Heckram is engaging mid as well, but I think they might just be
Did they
out.
turn kill on the Heckram? No.
Yeah, the Heckram is a little bit overextended.
No, I think the game like ends here. Oh wait, now there's the Herald mid lane right now.
Yeah. They don't really have a wave here, and Cass.
Yeah, Maiden will tank it for a bit, but yeah, Herald is actually like
They're
so
just gonna
much
back
for
off
Melia.
and do the Baron, and I think that they just get it.
I feel like you drop Inhib if you don't have that at the very least.
Oh.
Ooh.
Flash for flash. I don't know if I necessarily like that. I think that the cast flash is just so valuable to maybe
I mean,
get a
it
cheese
was
flash.
picked, right? Like she couldn't flash out if she learned the miasma, right? And then Cass getting a kill there would be really nice. But
Oh, they're
okay.
going to poke them off Baron.
They're
They might actually be able
really
to do
low.
this.
can they then? No, they can't then start
They
it up
can't do
again.
the Baron, but they can't really
Nothing.
chase, nor can they start. But they do push them off it. They delay the game farther, which is what you were talking about. We just want to see them keep doing this. We need them to turtle in order to be able to scale up. And on red side, you almost need the Baron to siege without that standard ADC as you were talking about. It's so hard unless it's York in a side lane. That's really the only way that you're going to actively get towers without a Baron. So that was a very crucial stop coming out of blue side. New York finishes his 3 items. He's super strong with that dead man's as well. He has so much mobility to just move around the map, get in side lanes faster.
I'm sitting here going, I'm playing against Moose's team next week. And then Ryan's team week the team after.
I've already played both of them. I have Caleb's team and Alex's team, so I casted Alex's game, I think. That was fun.
This next week is just a
I need
string
one
for
more
you
win
versus
to
me.
lock it.
Oh, the Nautilus is
Nautilus is just dead.
caught
Yeah.
here.
Can't do anything about it.
I think he for sure just dies here. And they're gonna look the Baron now, and I think that they will be able to do it with everybody up and alive.
Again, I think
gonna
this
be
is
hard
just
off.
you're just like delaying the inevitable here.
And the cast is gonna show bot, and once she shows bot, yeah, they just get a guaranteed Baron here. Unless they're gonna go for a Miracle Lilia still, which I don't see happening. She's down 3 levels on this Hecarim, so I don't think that she's gonna be able to outsmite him. And the Baron just goes over for free. Stragon is up. They see the Kaisan award.
Alright, so if they handshake this dragon, it means they have 6 minutes to get control and then contest Soul. I mean, Soul isn't necessarily game point. Elder would be, because, you know, it's not like blue team is just hard poking out as their win con. They do have a lot of just forcing the fight. So the Ocean Soul isn't too insane. It's still really good, though.
Yeah, it's still a Soul, and you'd like to see something happen on the side of blue team, like maybe a miracle pick for the dragon.
Yeah, they do not need to contest this one, though.
No,
right?
no, they do not. Just the
They
Soul.
are on a 6-minute clock before Soul will spawn after this dragon is killed, and then they're on a 6-minute clock for Elder, right? So they have 12 minutes to figure out this game.
Oh, and the cast oversteps, and she's just caught.
Oh, the
and
Kaiser
then
gets hit
died.
too.
Barely clipped
I
by
don't
that.
even feel like that hit.
They
the
need to
Kaiser.
stop the bleeding.
I don't think that I'm not sure how that hit the Kaisa either, but I also am not sure why they were even there to begin with, right? You know that you can't contest this dragon. They're up too far, and you are a comp with good scaling, so I would have liked to see them, as Connor's saying, just sit back and turtle and then fight the Soul.
It's not necessarily good, it's just able to scale.
Yeah, it's really, yeah.
It's really rough.
only
I'd
thing
have to imagine blue team is tilted here and is just playing out the game.
You do have a lot of CS on this Kaisa. She is kind of starting to cap the Seraphine, but it just doesn't matter too much. Because again, you just look at blue team's comp, and they have the Seraphine Lux. Oh, the Nautilus lands
Lilia
a hook
has
on the
sleep.
Yorick.
Doesn't matter. They're not gonna pull the trigger.
He's just too
The
tanky.
set-
Oh, and Kagan fighting the Hecarim up top. And they both just flash out. Or the set flashes out.
And like blue team just doesn't even know what to do. 3-man sleep doesn't
Oh,
matter.
3-man sleep. But yeah, that's just a disengaged sleep that we see coming out of the Lilia. And meanwhile, the Hecarim just clears their entire jungle, so they're just farther extending that lead. And with the Baron, they can finally siege this tower.
Yeah, and then they're still not ending here. Oh, forcing is a little questionable.
Yeah, then they all die here. Okay.
Yep, Seraphine and
Yeah, the Hecarim and
Yeah,
the
the game-
Seraphine is just too
Going back to
massive.
draft though, I think the reason why Red is having such a hard time to end this game is the lack of an ADC.
Yeah.
Which is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
this
I
game
mean, you don't
could have been
need
over
to
at
end
like
the game
20.
to,
What?
you know, just play for Elder Soul and all
Right,
that.
it's just a
You don't
really
have to.
slow-paced game that they could have ended 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I guess they might have just been comp testing, who knows, but it was a good game regardless coming out of mixed team. It was a fun one. I'm excited to get some interviews on whoever wants them. But yeah, it should be interesting to hear what all of their thoughts are. So I think that not only was the cast pick a little bit troll because of like the short range into their team comp, but you also picked Kaisa, who is another extremely short ranged ADC that kind of wants to like dive the back line or like get these weird positions in fights, which is really hard to do whenever you have skill shots coming at you from like 900,000 miles away.
Right.
So I don't know.
And also the Cassiopeia, right? Like it's really disjoint from the rest of the team, right? That's the part that I really care about there, is because like the rest of the team kind of has this like wanna go in strategy, and Cassiopeia doesn't fit that.
Yeah.
She really wants the enemy to come into you.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not like the enemy team, you know, enemy team can go into her properly though. So it's just rough. So.
Well, let's go ahead and ask in the chat to see if anybody wants interviews, or is their game? Yeah, their game should be done, right? Because they're on a 3-minute delay, or we're on a 3-minute delay.
Done.
Yeah, they're well over. We can't see the end of the game before they do.
Yeah, my brain just hurts. It's been a long day. I moved in today, so I'm back up in Kansas City. For a while, I was living at home. So Caleb, who do you play? Who are your next 3 teams?
You, which is basically just
I
a
knew.
scrim and a practice for the Colossal Goat.
Until you lose
The finale,
because we
Clash
turned.
of the Titans.
All right, so XRX is down to interview.
Oh, okay.
You might want to ask in the Discord chat. Who all wants it?
Do we want to bring in Mick first? Captains.
Yeah, does he want it? If any captains want it first, yeah, you should probably ask the captains first.
Okay, let's bring Nick in here first. We'll work on getting Ryan.
Sounds good.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Mick, I keep trying
Hello?
to drag you into the call, and every time I clicked casting, you joined, so then it jumped to Rue, which was like the next one in line. That happened twice, so.
Well, you're in here now.
So what do you want
You're in
now?
here now. So, what are your thoughts on the game? Are you hyped for winning both of them?
They felt a bit messy, both of them. But I think we adapted well for what we had to do today. We had to go in with 2 subs, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm glad. Obviously, glad the way it ended up. And I'm happy my subs managed to pull it around. We were having a bit of a rough time in Flex earlier,
Oh,
but
Well, I'm glad.
they're champions, so you know. Yeah,
Well,
any other
one
questions?
thing that was just kind of like fresh in our minds, I guess, from the last game that was a pivotal point of like the conversations that we were having was your draft. So, what was the game plan drafting the 2 enchanters instead of an ADC there?
I'm not gonna go too into it.
Your double sub bot lane might still just be playing every game.
Yeah, I don't know. One of my players keeps dodging, but it's comfort. You know, I'll say
Okay.
that. That's it.
Just wanted a safe lane down there.
Yeah. It's
Alrighty.
pretty nice.
Well, thoughts on those massive Alawi ults from Logan in the first game?
Oh yeah, he's my champion.
All
Calm.
right.
He pulls it in. And he. Yeah. What did you think of the Cassidon?
Oh yeah, I mean, I loved all of it. Were you a little bit scared whenever the Yasuo cheesed you a little bit early and got that aggression on your lane?
I mean, I was kicking myself in the shin, but I knew I could scale.
Yeah, that fight must have felt so good that broke out in the river whenever they thought they had a pick on the Hecarim and they were collapsing on it, but then you guys just came in and cleaned it up, and the Yasuo just got like CC'd to oblivion and dead instantly.
Mhm.
Was 2 free kills instantly skyrocketed you.
Yeah, I don't think I'll die first blood like that again.
Mm-hmm.
There are some games like I haven't played mid lane since before this tournament, so there are just a few kings and some champions knowing when I can go and when I can't. I think I'm getting there.
Mm-hmm. So, whenever you were in the first game, whenever it was super, kind of really back and forth late game because of all the picks, were you sweating a little bit whenever you saw that Seraphine Flash R hit your entire team into the big wombo combo?
Are we talking about the Baron where they all
Yeah.
died?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
are all on blue buff area.
Yeah, I was worried, but Logan was pretty steadfast, and
Yeah,
he was, that was big.
That tilted me. Like, literally, Seraphine ulti
Yeah.
hit your entire team. They had the Malphite R with the Yasuo ulti on, like, 3 of you. And then Alawi literally one-shots their entire team. And it was tilting.
Yeah. And I was out of mana.
Yeah.
So I was sweating a little bit, but Logan's got cojones. Yeah. All right.
Hugo's eye the heck helped.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah, I think that it was really interesting. We were talking about how they probably need to ban the heck because Hugh seems super comfortable on that. We were surprised that they just stuck with almost the same bans and opted to ban the Yumi instead. It was kind of crazy.
I think if you're going to point out any of their bans, you should look at the Swain.
Yeah, I mean we did look at that as well, but
the rest I can understand.
mm-hmm. Well,
Is Moose trying to push me off, not ban Swain next week? Is he really wanting to make sure that he gets a Swain pick?
I don't know, dude.
maybe it's all mine.
Maybe you should stay up late at night, think about that. You know, use your math major. You should math major do all the calculations, dude.
Is Mick Swain Connor Soraka? He tells everybody not to ban it just so that way he can have it.
Yeah, I think it is.
I haven't said to ban it or not ban it.
Yeah, he might play a
The
mid
more
lane.
ambiguous I am, the longer Connor's going to think about it.
Little does he know, I might be already mind gaming him and getting all the reads I need by telling him to,
Good one.
Alright.
You see, I'm an engineer. Fucking
I'm perfectly ready to just get O2 next week, all right?
over here.
I'm focusing more on Ryan's matchup instead of your matchup. I'm just ready to take the O2 now. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I just need one more win, right?
Okay. Good luck. Have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck. Alrighty. Well, this is a good interview. Are you pumped going into your future matches?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty
Clash
good.
of the Titans week 5. 1v1 me
It's gonna
Russ.
be a
Quick
good
scope
one.
only.
Yeah, I think Xerex wants
Interview.
an interview. Yeah.
All right. If Ryan wants to interview first, though, we should interview him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sure.
Interview the captains.
All right. Thanks.
See ya.
Yeah. Good luck in your next match. Adios. JK, please don't win. I want to win. Kappa, I won't win. I'm gonna get O2.
I love the confidence coming out of you, Connor.
It's team inactive.
like
I just need to
reverse.
make playoffs. That's all that matters.
Well, your standing's better than my team right now. That's all.
Oh, man.
Hey, you can still catch up if we lose out and you win out.
Exactly.
Can we just
We
forfeit
turn-
the game against Nick and then play Mick already?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'd like to just formally say that I'm 100%
Dude,
down
I
for
wonder, are people actually mad that I'm joking about this? Like, obviously, I'm not actually gonna like let Nick win the game.
Yeah, no.
But do people worry that like I'm actually gonna throw?
Well, when you 2-0 it, no, they won't worry anymore.
Okay.
that. See, but I don't know. In our scrim, we went 1-1.
So
That's
it
all
seems
I'm
like Ryan's
saying.
not responding, so we can go
Okay.
ahead and interview
Okay.
XRX
Okay.
instead of this win trading talk.
It's okay. We live in the same house and we're extremely competitive. So I'll unplug his computer, so I'll win anyways.
Oh man. Okay. Let's bring in Frostfro.
Hello, hello, hello.
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 Are you super excited after those games?
Yeah. Rocky start for me, but I kept my cool and made it and still helped out the team.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, if you don't want to give away too much, you don't have to. But were you calling for that Seraphine pick in the second game?
It was definitely floated, and I think, yeah, it was floated in the air, and we saw they didn't go for it, so we grabbed it.
Mm-hmm. I was just wondering, like, obviously we know Mick plays it. Mick's played it before, but I was just wondering, you know, if that was like your comfort pick and you weren't comfortable playing a more traditional ADC, or like, what was your thoughts behind that?
Well, I enjoy my non-traditional AD carries. They haven't seen my favorite ones yet.
Oh.
Better not give it away.
Pulling out the Brady's Yasuo ADC.
Oh my gosh.
I'll give a little hint. It's more on the AP
Oh
line.
no, not another Swain. God
Oh,
no.
no.
It's not.
I know.
Well, so just a question that I have for you. Whenever you saw that Seraphine flash ulti coming out of your support, how hyped were you? You guys had to have given him the honor after that one, right?
In that second game or
Oh wait.
Wait,
Never
no.
mind. Sorry, I have
Was the
it
same.
backwards. You're not on the right team. Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
Are you talking about-
Are you the sub or are you the main
I was
starter?
sub. For,
Okay. Never. The subs have me all confused.
Awkward, Nick. That's embarrassing.
Don't worry, I'm not around a lot, but when I am, I try to impact it as much as
So
possible.
like
Well,
let's talk about your like you're coming in as a sub. So like, did you have a good time? Like, did it meet your expectations? Like, were you nervous at all?
Yeah, I was a little nervous because I was still like I was a little bit off rolling, just a little bit. But you know, coming in and doing my best, there's a lot that I learned in this game and able to put it to wherever I need to go. Really helped out. And yeah, I was nervous at first. Our flex games were a little rocky, but when we got into like these games, kind of just got into the zone and was able to do what I need to do.
Gotcha. What how did you feel on the Sibber game 1? Because I know we've seen a bunch of different Sibber builds come out, and so like you opted into that kind of Q spam Duskblade Manamune build. Is that what you're comfortable on, or did you kind of think about that and talk about it before the game?
That was something that I was seeing go around, and I tried it about like once and thought it'd be good to bring it here. What I noticed also is like the cooldowns are really low when it comes to that one. So like having ults at a low cooldown for Hecarim was really nice, and I think that also it helped me get away from certain situations, even some misplays.
Awesome. So now that you've played your first match, if you come back to sub again, do you feel like the nerves will be lower? Are you going to be more in the zone than your first couple games?
Yeah, I definitely those nerves are out the door now.
Even if you go against Powerhouse bot lane next week?
Powerhouse bot lane, you know what? If I end up going against Powerhouse bot lane, I'll just have to bring my own Powerhouse.
Yeah, spank
Soraka
Connor and
and-
Joe. Ban the Ashe. Don't give Connor Ashe. It's too free.
You know what? I will keep
100% win
that
rate
going.
Ashe support.
Just be ready for it.
Yeah.
Connor plays Ashe Swain bot lane. Don't get cheesed.
You've been warned.
You know what? I'll bust out my cheese pick.
Oh, fighting cheese with
Oh,
cheese.
never
Fire with
noticed.
fire. Connor, how do you feel about that?
You'll never see it coming.
I'm just gonna lose both games next week.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
No, like I fully expect to lose both games. Like it's kind of like when I went in against you, I was super happy that I got a win.
Gotcha.
Right? Like that, I will take it as a win if we won one next week.
Gosh,
Get
Caleb seemed
0-2
bad.
as expected.
He went into the mindset that he was getting O2'd and he still took a game off you, man. Pretty sure I'm gonna 2-0 you,
Dude.
Caleb.
My bot lane
We turn
did
these.
game 2. It really hurt. Yeah, I'm flaming Min and Brady right now. I hope they're watching the stream. You guys griefed me. I'm reporting you.
Well, thanks for coming on and doing the interview. Hopefully we'll see you in future games. I'm glad that you enjoyed it and had fun and was able to pull out 2 wins on the fly. So
Nick, if you unplug Caleb's PC, he'll unplug yours, and I think our team comes out on top of that trade.
Don't worry about it.
I'll just knock him out.
I'll just knock him out after I unplug it.
All right.
Very competitive.
Yeah.
Exact.
Well, do you have any closing statements?
No, if I'm back, I'm gonna bring in the heat.
Okay, if he's back,
Ooh.
bring in the heat. Look forward to that.
Get ready, Connor.
Well, thank
All right.
you.
I'm gonna focus more on week 5 than week 4.
Connor's not afraid.
No, I'm the exact opposite. I'm ready to lose that one. We just need to win one game in week 5, and we should be clean.
Understandable. Well, Frostfro, Xerex, whatever you want to call yourself, thank you for coming on. You had a great performance, and thank you for your willingness to sub in. I know Mick appreciates it, so thank you.
Yeah, it helps a lot. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
All right.
Well, do we have...
Is there any other interviews?
Nobody's saying anything in chat, so...
All right. Well, everyone who's watching the stream, make sure to drop a follow to Caleb because it's the only reason he wanted to host
That's
tonight.
not
so
true.
he really wants to hit 10 followers. If he can hit that gold, he's actually going to be doing a $25 RP card giveaway. So
Interesting.
just make sure to drop that follow.
Well, make sure everybody stays tuned for the next couple UMKC matches happening later on in the week, or later on next week. Things are about to get spicy. We're nearing playoffs, locking in those final playoff spots. So stay tuned, keep watching, and
just to give an update before we go too far, right? So standings are in for end of week 3. It is a tie between Zippos and Paris and the Colossal Goat, right? They still haven't played, so there's no head-to-head tiebreaker there. Then third place is currently my team, sitting at 4-2, and then now Sir Mix-a-Lot is tied with Alex's team. And I believe they already played and went 1-1, if I remember correctly. Right? Or am I...
Are you talking about what? Sorry.
So Alex's team played Ryan's team already,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're both 2-4, tied in the records. And neither of them have played against We Turn These yet. So, they're both going to play that.
I played Ryan.
You get a huge chance to play spoiler, even if you're not in the tournament anymore. But and then you are sitting at 0-6 right now. So
yeah, it's a little rough. But you know what? Our name is We Turn These for a reason. Don't worry about it.
you got to turn these now, though, man. But it's really good that those two people you're contesting for, right? Because it's it's Sir Mix-a-Lot, Jizzles, and technically still me, right? Like I still can get knocked out in theory if wins go out properly. So you might have a shot. But anyways, go ahead and finish your closing. I just thought I'd go ahead and update the leaderboard.
Well, thank you for that. Anyway, things are getting spicy. Stay tuned in the future weeks to come. Thank you guys for stopping by today. Thank you for the follows. See you guys next time.
How many follows did you actually get?